The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico DeHaan. And now, here's Nico DeHaan.
It's Nico DeHaan and Paige Clarke. Hi, Paige.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, it's almost a new year coming up here, so we're going to be talking a little bit of time about some New Year's resolutions later on in the show. But welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, and the number here is 877-927-6648. And please pick up our Health Signals newsletter, which is on the web, and you can get that for 30 days at no charge. You get 2 issues, which is about 20 pages each issue, and gives you great articles on what's new in the health field and what we think might pique your interest to help you find out for yourself, how to stay healthy and how to exercise properly and really how to be just a great human being.
The links, too, in your newsletter are just absolutely fabulous.
I think
the videos, it just saves so much time.
Well, everybody has a different take on things. Sometimes I throw opposing views in there. Sometimes I just throw in there a little bit more information.
Food for thought.
Yeah, food for thought. Hey, great one.
Maybe that's a good little.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, in fact, I got a question from a friend of mine, Jay, and he had bought some pork from this dealer up in Georgia, Thompson Farms. Great pork he has. In fact, I just got my shipment in. And he says, I noticed there's nitrates in the sausages, So I wanted to kind of clarify that nitrates are really a basic type of salt that they use to preserve lots of foods. It's not the same nitrate that we're talking about when we're saying try to get your nitrates out of your vegetables and things, because they've been added as preservatives for, fruits and vegetables and things like that. And
is this pork all free pasture pork?
Yeah.
Pastured pork.
It's all pastured pork. And
that's what we don't get in the regular grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. These pigs are sent out in the fields, and I don't know if this farmer, but some of the farmers that I follow, what they do is they rotate cattle and chickens and pork. It's a real good combination where you put the cattle out there for about a month, and he says we really don't feed our animals.
And then the pigs go out and clean up behind them.
Well, actually, the chickens go next.
Yeah,
because they're good at scratching all the dung and everything like that. And they spread everything pretty evenly while they're out pecking, looking for their bugs and seeds and whatever they eat. And then the third time, they shovel the pigs in there for about a month, and they root everything. And then you have to let the land kind of set maybe 60, 90 days, something like that, and then you start the cycle all over again.
Well, what I love, and I recommend everyone check it out, is Joel Salatin. He was the star of Food Inc. And he's from Virginia. Actually, his farm is a half an hour from where all my family, just across the mountain, where my whole family.
I'd be going there all the time.
Oh, but if you just want to have some fun, go to YouTube and put in Joel Salatin and watch his videos so you can see how food is really supposed to be raised, how chickens are supposed to be raised.
Modern day pioneer, and I've listened to many of his talks. And he's quite the character, and he really lays it down nice and dry for you, too, so I like that a lot. But so the nitrates in a lot of these natural meat products really, if you know the farmer, you know what he's using. These are basic salts used to preserve and kind of age the meats.
Right.
So,
but the thing we want to avoid then is some of the bacon, pork products that we might get in a conventional grocery store.
Yes.
And also meats that might have the radiation symbol on it.
Right.
Meaning that it's been radiated.
Yeah.
That's how you want to buy your meat from a
and the
farm
FDA
co-op.
just passed the regulation where they can eradicate just about anything they want to, and they'll tell you.
Well, that's something I'd like to talk further about, food irradiation. There's a whole organization called Codex Luminaris, or a movement that has really had a charter.
And that's international.
It is, and it's farther along in Europe. In other words, I have European friends that can't get certain B complex. They have to come here to get nutrition of a certain strength. But there's some really interesting information about what a lot of people feel the goal of Codex is
world government, really, that's what I think.
It is, and really what you've got is they have classified nutrition as a poison. Nutrients as poisons.
Nutrients as a poison, yeah.
Nutrients are poison, so you must irradiate the food.
Wow. We're in for a good 2013 so far.
Yeah, so the point is that, for example, our little natural food store here, who I love, Nature's Food Patch, they do not carry irradiated food. And they put it says on their door.
Another reason to go there.
They will not carry foods that are irradiated. So really what irradiation does is it kills everything. The nutrition, the enzymes, in meats, nuts, the whole pasteurization thing with the nuts. So we want to try and get our foods that are the least processed and manhandled, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's a good way to really fight the large corporations and kind of drive them out of business. And, it's...
When we stop buying what they're selling,
yes, we're
going to have a revolution in our health.
Yeah, we sure are. And, when you change things like the amount of paper that you use, too, we're becoming a paperless society, but we still do a lot of paper towels and bathroom tissue and all this stuff. And, that's a harder problem to solve, I think. So, but there are other sources for the paper than just wood, too.
Right.
I mean, you can get it from hemp, but you can get it from a lot of things that are kind of outlawed in this country.
Wouldn't it be interesting if we... the situation with hemp.
Well, hemp is a different plant than the marijuana plant itself.
And people get confused about that, and they sort of put in
no matter how
morality.
much you smoke hemp, you're not going to get high off of it.
Right.
And I don't think even the marijuana plant doesn't make the greatest clothing and rope,
right.
But the hemp plant does. And it's a relative of the marijuana plant, but that was really outlawed for different reasons rather than...
Did you know it was illegal not to grow hemp in our forefathers' day?
It was illegal not to.
Illegal not to grow hemp. It was actually a required crop as part of the new.
Well, if you didn't have cotton and wool, I mean, you need something else.
Right.
Yeah, so I think hemp.
We've got all kinds of ideas of how to make the place a better world.
Yes, we do. And if they just listen to us, it'd be a lot better world.
Hey, can I ask you something? Because I didn't get a chance to read this, but Nico just brought in a great article. It's in the Smithsonian.
Yes.
And it's called "Born to be Mild." I like the picture. Born to be mild, and just to, are we born knowing right from wrong? New research offers surprising answers to the age-old question of where morality comes from. And I didn't have a chance to finish it. Well, you just I thought it was fascinating.
Well, it's a fascinating study, and they've done quite a few studies and in different countries. And what they're finding when they leave the babies alone, I mean, these are young babies, some of them as low as maybe 3 months to 6 months, and some of them a year, a couple of years, before they're really talking a lot, and finding what they do naturally.
Right.
Because they really wanted to find where does our morality, our center, our drive really come from. And, well, the basic summary of this is that, the goodness is kind of built into the child.
Born innate.
It kind of innate, because everything it does, it'll do towards like non-aggression, to helping, to giving things, not to taking things, but to giving things. We learn so everything that we do as mothers and fathers and countries and companies and everything like that actually seems to be hindering because it's not turning out too well, in a lot of cases. I mean, sure,
so we create the alter.
We create the fear. We create the taking. And not the giving as much, and we don't do it on purpose naturally. We're busy trying to make a living.
Right. And so we're innately good, and yet somehow or another, some of us, and all of us at different times,
of course,
make choices, and some of that's probably based on programming, would you say?
Well, a lot of it's programming. We're certainly programmed in so many different ways in the society. I mean, just from
I don't mean just TV. I mean
from Tiger TV
to
regular television to the commercials, especially any kind of advertising. When you think of it, it is trying to steer you one way.
I have a friend of mine that teaches me a lot about neuro-linguistic programming, which is watching what you say. Because remember, whatever you say, your body's listening. And I have had a situation where I use the word should a lot. You should do this. You should do this. Nico, you should.
Right.
Should is shame. Should equals shame.
Yeah.
In other words, what you're saying is you should brush your teeth. In other words,
and we say it to ourselves, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Yeah.
So what you're supposed to say is,
I'm an idiot.
I could.
How many times have you said that?
I could brush my teeth, right? Or I could clean the house today.
Yeah.
That doesn't doesn't invoke judgment.
The original Ten Commandments, when it said, I shall not kill, the actual text, when they accurately decipher it, was, I did not kill today.
Oh.
I did not slander my neighbor's
Shout.
wives.
Shout is a version of should, right? Shout, should.
Yeah. But what he was saying every day, it wasn't so much that I shall not do this, it's that I didn't do that.
Right. Right.
This is the kind of person I am. But back to the baby thing, and I'm going to put this in future Health Signals newsletter and do the link to the whole thing, because it's a really...
That's the benefit of getting the newsletter, because we can't cover everything, but some of the stuff that we uncover, because we're both ferocious readers. And
if you really want to, get into this, this has really touched me, because it talks about our innate abilities as human beings to be kind, to be thoughtful, to care for each other. And just because somebody says something to you or makes a mistake or whatever it is, then all of a sudden it changes your whole perspective of the person, and that's not the kind of things we want. So I think this is showing me, at least what I always thought, is that we're born great. We're born that perfect baby. There is that's where we can learn from, by watching that baby, watching what it does on a natural basis, and then we can say, boy, I'm learning, and I'm 68 years old and I'm learning.
And you know what? That's the way we should be.
Yeah,
we should always be learning and kind of going back to the basics.
Yeah.
I think that's why, we cover a lot of different subjects here. It's not just about nutrition and eating primal. We kind of, it's about
a lifestyle. It's what we want to do is discover. And I'm certainly food. I want to discover great food, and I want to make sure it's good for me, because food is medicine, as we often say on the show. But also my mind.
Drugs are sick care. Food is health care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also what's physically good for me. And, I discovered that through jiu-jitsu, but also looking at what other people are doing. And everybody comes up with these wonderful, inventive ways to get exercise. And, when I read these articles about, my goal for the next year is to go climb a mountain, or to maybe traverse the desert, or whatever, some kind of nice adventure that might take you 3 or 4 days, or even overnight to do. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be just, for a lot of people, just walking around the block is good enough.
Exactly. Hey, let's do that. We got a second here. We'll start talking about some of the New Year's resolution ideas.
Okay.
For our people that are living a primal lifestyle. And I think one of the points we want to get across is not to get upset about your New Year's resolutions. Don't create another situation that could allow you to feel guilty for not achieving it. Don't make them realistic goals.
Yeah, make them realistic and implement them on a daily basis. In other words, if you're going to add exercise to it, maybe go for a walk, or the days you're not doing something more strenuous, just do some stretching, learn a little bit of yoga, attend a class. I think is one of the things that I would put on top of my list. Some kind of class, whether it's a dance class, or whether it's a dance to learn a specific sport, or even a class. There's classes on hiking and canoeing, and there's so many things that you can do outside that's going to benefit your mindset, everything that we do.
I love learning, and I think that's a great goal for everyone.
Yeah, and you're going to find this information, folks, in the Health Signals newsletter. So, and you can call us also at 877-927-6648. We've got a good segment coming up, and while we were on this child thing, I've got one more thing that was connected to that you showed me. So about the music.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
yeah, I touched on that. So we'll be right back, folks. Paige and Nico at TFNN.com.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direxion shares connect sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direxion shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direxion shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direxion shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We're here to remind you to pick up our Health Signals newsletter. It's only $10 a month, and 2 issues a month, and the first 30 days are free. So the first 2 issues are free. And, of course, you can cancel anytime. So, one of the things I wanted you were talking about was music and how we were really talking about healing. Mm-hmm. And you use music in your healing.
Yes. Sound, music, notes.
Right.
I do a type of analysis called a voice bio, where we have someone speak a few words. Yeah. And you haven't even come. We've been trying to get together to do that, so you'll do yours. So we do a voice bio, and we do a wave print, and we look for imbalances in the musical notes in your voice print.
Wow.
For example, a person who is low in the note of C, we notice a correlation with low thyroid. Et cetera, et cetera. So we can go into more detail. But I shared this one article with you today.
Unbelievable article.
And
a video that goes with it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and tell them where that is. Maybe they want to look at it, or do you want to put it in the newsletter?
Actually, you can find this. It's called Music - The Healing Language of the Soul, and it's on Walking Times.
Waking
Times. You should be able to just put that into Google, and you should...
Waking Times. It was in yesterday's, the 27th, right? But it's got a great video that kind of shows you the power of music, which really music is a form of vibration. And I strongly believe that through vibration, color, sound, therapy, we can accomplish so many things, body, mind, and spirit.
The video is so moving, folks, when you watch it.
Give yourself a gift and watch it.
No doubt about it. you see this guy in a chair, and he's
in a nursing home.
In a nursing home, and he's just kind of slumped over, and he can't even hold his head up. And when they ask him a question, then he responds just by a couple of grunts, and he seems to know for a second where he is, and then it seems to just all leave him, and he's always in that position. He's been in this nursing home for 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
10 years in this
Doesn't
home.
recognize his daughter.
Doesn't recognize anything that's going on. Doesn't recognize voices and who even names. So they start... because of his background, they select a certain kind of music that he, supposedly liked, and he likes calming things. So they put some music on, and they put it in an iPod-type device and put the headphones on, and all of a sudden you see him starting to come to life.
And that's the name. It's actually a preview. I just remembered. It's a preview for a movie called Alive Inside, so it's going to be something to see.
The cool thing is about this is that not only during the time that he's listening to music, after when they take the headphones off of him, they start asking some questions, and all of a sudden this guy comes alive.
And is able to communicate?
Yeah, and I think Al just put it up on the screen now. So do yourself a favor, folks, and check it out, because it's really a powerful...
it just makes your heart
feel
so good.
The realization that there's a live person in there now, and then they start asking him questions. And this guy is not only speaking excitedly, and he's all aware of what's going on, he remembers things, but his English grammar is amazing. There's no slurring of the words, and he's just, I love the music. This is great. Wow, this is something else,
Just a totally different persona.
Yeah, all of a sudden the guy's alive. So you see the first part of him where it's basically a dead human being, and then it's alive, and it's the same person, and it's minutes apart. Blow your mind.
I hope you enjoy it, and it's one of the things that I hope I can share as we're doing the show in the new year, is that I really believe that we are sound and music and vibration. That is essentially what we are at the core.
Yeah.
And that oftentimes when we have a dis-ease, it is simply that we have forgotten all the notes of the symphony. It's like a symphony. Yeah. If there's a note that's off or missing, then it doesn't sound quite right.
And what are the notes? And those are the things that we're exploring, really what's missing from our lives. The thing is, the connection between this and the baby is so meaningful, because here you have the perfect human being as the baby, doing all the right things, and now you have the old man in the chair that comes alive just because of one stimulus that is music. Of course, music's been a part of my life, and most of us who grew up with rock and roll and everything like that, how much the Beatles influenced us, and different people who write music, and of course my dad was always doing opera and Beethoven, so I grew up with this wonderful music, and it's always helped me through difficult times too.
Right.
And when you hear a song from long ago, you all of a sudden that comes, all that space and time comes back to you in your brain instantly. Almost, you can smell it almost sometimes. Sometimes a song comes on, and I'm saying, geez, it takes you back there. It
transports you into that time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of what we're giving you a little foreshadowing of, is that I think, we talk a lot about what's good in food and for our body, but we want to talk about what's good for our mind, body, and spirit.
No doubt about it.
So let us know some of the things that you want to hear.
Yeah. And you can let us know by going to Nico at TFNN.com or Paige at TFNN.com and sending us an email. You can call us here at 877-927-6648, and you can grab all the videos here at the livingaprimalifestyle.com and go to the show. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes, folks. We're going to talk about the New Year's Eve resolutions right after the show. Right after the break, I should say. We'll be right back.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations, including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
That we talked about, just to give, just to kind of wet your whistle to know what's coming. All right. That was it? Okay, so that was cool. Anyway, we were talking about that. We were talking about the babies and the music being healing. What else were we going to talk about again?
We were going to touch on some New Year's resolutions.
Oh,
do you have
that's
one?
it. Yeah. Well, okay, so do you do resolutions every year?
Actually, I'm going to tell you why I don't.
Okay.
I sort of create some guidelines because I have this perfectionism. Can't get started because I feel like if I don't finish it, then I feel guilty.
Sure.
So that's one of the things I want to tell people. You know, New Year's resolutions are guides. They don't have to be rules.
Sure.
And sometimes when we set resolutions, we can start to internalize that, oh, we didn't make it. And then the guilt sets in.
Yeah, I think make it simple is one of the rules I use, and very, very much attainable, something that you can do. Mm-hmm. Even if you've done it before, it doesn't make any difference. You don't have to climb the mountain, but I think, those things are important too, to kind of peak yourself. But the thing I always is, if I make a goal for myself, it's, what if I don't get it? It's no big deal.
It's like somebody said to me, or I read, where someone said, oh, let's watch what we eat between Christmas and New Year. And someone said, no, really what we should do is not freak out about a certain event.
No.
Let's watch what we do all year long.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With the New Year's resolution, that's great. Create some guidelines. And we've got some ideas for you that might make it simple.
Yeah, and one of the things, the first one is kind of removing some type of junk food from what you're eating now that isn't any good for you, and just kind of removing that from your diet. Maybe the way I do it, I kind of mentally put a fence around it that I can't climb.
Yeah, it could be one fruit. It could be a group. A couple of foods that might be your weakness, and say, I'm just going to try and not eat those all year and see what happens.
Like with potato chips or French fries, or just say no fast food all year long. That's a great
like that. And, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I'm going to eliminate food and dairy. And you know how I feel about dairy. I think dairy, particularly raw dairy, is a superfood. So I don't even like to hear that. I like to hear people, let's say this. Even a lot of mainstream doctors are realizing a great deal of success with their people if they say, I want you to not eat any genetically modified food.
Oh, boy, that takes a lot out of it.
Isn't that nice, though? It's kind of like no GMOs.
Yeah.
And that can kind of create a little fun for you in saying, I've got to make sure, which would mean not eating in a lot of restaurants.
Hey, that's how special you think of yourself. Yeah. The thing about the mind healing and the babies being born cool, is all of us tapping into that and saying, hey, we deserve this. We deserve something to eat that's good for us, that's going to make us live long and prosper.
I like that. We deserve it.
We deserve it.
We deserve it.
And we all deserve it. I mean, everybody gets tough breaks, but we deserve that. We deserve to do good things for ourselves, and that's about all we can control.
Exactly.
So the rest of it is going to fall into place, folks. It always has.
I like this other idea, too, of climb or hike a mountain.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, that's kind of hard for us in Florida. We can't, but I want to bring up something, and you have it in your center. I want to talk a little bit more about some of the things that are unique in your center.
Okay.
But the vibration machines that people have. I really like these, and I'm going to be working on a detox program in my office and a bone building program for women using the vibration, because and then it's really important. We can talk about that you have to have the correct frequency. In other words, a very low frequency on these vibration machines builds bone. A little medium frequency helps detox the lymph. But when we talk about hiking a mountain, do you know why that's so good?
Well, it's you're using your slow twitch muscles and your fast twitch muscles, so you're using your whole body, really. You're using the anchor, which is really the abs and the psoas muscles.
Because you're having to use them to stabilize, because you're walking on uneven ground.
Yeah.
And that's the key for lymphatic drainage. Our lymph system, which is our other circulatory system that doesn't get nearly the attention it should. That's kind of our detoxification. The lymph is so important for drainage, but it takes a very special type of movement. That's why rebounding or the vibration machines are superior to any other exercise you do. So,
and also changing your exercise just a little bit. I have these robots that we use for exercise, and the great thing about them is you can click them into different planes. And different angles.
See, I want people to understand that Nico has these robot pieces of equipment that were developed by NASA.
Well, they're developed by a friend of mine, Lucien Randolph, and he was building these so they could be used in outer space to do full stimulation to the body of strength training, which is called resistance training, and also doing some aerobic training, which is the walking and also running and sprinting and things like that, and also to do some flexibility training in. So you have all really there's actually four different things that you can do in this from a standpoint of what we call exercise. And exercise is really ruled by two things, by the amount of weight you have and the time that you use it.
But what I like about your machines is that there's really no room for injury.
Very little, yeah.
They're
It takes it out because you have arms and legs that move, and you have to move them as the person inside the machine. And it's an exoskeleton. And the reason we brought this up, I was reading this article about how exoskeletons helps paralyzed patients walk. I saw it on CNN yesterday, and they're using that same technology. And it's very precise technology. The technology allows the movement that is innate in all beings on this planet.
Well, it's
mathematically controlled.
Yes.
We move in a certain way with certain angles and things for our posture. And, in fact, all four-legged animals walk in the same equation. and that's how they can tell footprints.
Sacred geometry, really.
It is, yeah.
And so you're really using state-of-the-art technology in your center. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody else has them. I got 3 machines. I don't think the inventor has as many machines as I do now. I think he only has 1 working model. But they're fantastic machines. They were really ahead of their time, and they're very expensive because of titanium alloys in them. So they tended not to sell and get into the market.
So if you're local, come in and work out with Nico.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
You go. Yeah, you can call me at 727-418-8740. And you can call us here at 877-927-6648 also. So let's go back to the...
How about another one?
Okay, so just climbing the mountain is good.
Yeah, climbing the mountain because of the varied terrain.
Or anything that is going to be challenging to you.
Anything that's going to be challenging, anything that's going to be giving you some variation in leg. I think that's the key with the pump, the stabilization of having an uneven surface. So this kind of challenges me living here. That's one of the reasons I like the vibration. But, do some errands using human power.
And that's great. This time of year in Florida, we can do it easily, a little bit harder, which makes it challenging. So if you want to go to the grocery store and there's a foot of snow outside, and the grocery store is within a mile or two, hey, there's a little adventure built right in. You get all, get all your equipment on to tackle whatever the elements are, and you go out and do that. And it's a nice little adventure. I used to love to go out in the snow up in Michigan and up in Canada. It's it's a great experience, and it's a lot quieter out there too.
Well, I think that this is a great opportunity for us to rethink. What would we do if we didn't have some of these conveniences that I think we use just a little too often?
I think it'd be better without it, to tell you the truth.
People that mow their grass and they have a yard in suburbia and they're on a, sitting lawnmower. Yeah. Maybe they want to try doing it manually or they've got
just a little pair of scissors, folks. That's all. It's a big challenge,
Yeah, we talked kind of like replacing your foods, your processed foods, to a whole food alternative. So, I think that's another option. I mean, they don't have to be hard.
One of the things that we did this year that we didn't do 100%, the years before, was changing our vendors for our meat, for our protein. The fish, the chicken, the pork, and the beef that we eat, now coming from all great sources. So we just got to the point where about 6 months ago we decided we were going to do that. But that's our resolution for the whole year, is to get them from providers that we know where it's coming from. And we're finding out, first of all, the taste is wonderful naturally. We get all the great fats. We feel real good. We're eating a lot less because the food is much more dense. So that we're doing. And I'm trying to just fine-tune, because I feel I'm really on the right track. I feel really good. And, I've got the next 3 months is building up to the Pan Am Games for the Jiu-Jitsu. So, I'm building a team together with Gracie Baja Clearwater. And I want to be healthy and go in there strong and represent the area here, at the Pan Am Games.
And we'll be proud to have you
So, taking up a challenge is good, and changing the food is good, and changing just one aspect of it, like we said.
I like what you said. Just know your food. Yeah, and I, seriously, please understand, I'm not saying anything bad about the large corporations, but if we could all say, what can I do to avoid walking into the big box stores? Because, and I want to start supporting the local people, or even if they're not local, the people that are really making a concerted effort to keep the GMOs out of the feed for their animals. I think that's kind of a fun challenge to do, and maybe we can help with some links for newsletter subscribers of some of the places that we use. I literally had to run into our local grocery store, the chain type grocery store for like some toilet paper or something. But that's pretty much the only reason I'll run in there. My food items, I don't buy.
Paper goods.
And it's not that I have anything particularly. I mean, I know that many of them are great companies in their communities.
Well, the people who are working there are great, first of all.
Oh, absolutely.
These are good people in your own community. So it's not the people that we're knocking. It's the actual corporation. We know which way they're going to go. They're going to go whatever is cheaper for them in the long run anyway, and they're going to use the GMO foods and those things because they have to if they're going to compete with the other chain down the street.
Exactly.
Your local guy doesn't do that. He has more specialized people who care about the food rather than the price.
Yeah.
And it might cost you a little bit more, but not necessarily. A lot of times you'll find things cheaper.
And if you stop going to the fast foods, you'll find out that you can save the money.
Boy, you save so much money. And if you don't buy the chips and all the garbage foods that we have to have because we're on a sugar rush, then that really eliminates a lot of things, boy. And then, your grocery bill really doesn't have to go up. And initially, I think mine did, but after 3 months, it really stabilized to where we're not paying any more this whole last year than we would have normally done.
But, I don't think we have to feel guilty about our grocery bill, really.
No.
I mean, if you stop and you think about it, it's our...
do it on that.
Right, it's our health care, and if you stop and think about all the things you can cut out, it doesn't seem like it's so bad anymore when you think that's your nourishment, your fuel. I mean, do people feel bad about their gas bill? Not so much. They're fueling their car. Why don't we fuel our bodies?
On health care, which is directly related to the food. So if we concentrate on the food part, the health care itself will go down.
The sick care.
The sick care, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's not really health care.
Yeah, like we
health
said,
care is what you're fixing at home, your own food.
Health care is food.
Yeah.
Health care is your grocery bill.
Yeah.
Sick care is medicines. Yeah. So I think any time you can increase your expenditures on your foods or your health care, you can decrease your expenditures on your medicines.
Yeah, that's definitely proved the case. And I very seldom get sick. I once in a while I do. I got sick a few weeks back with the flu for a week.
I think the difference is that when you build your immune system, because that's really what we're doing when we're focused on natural health, we're trusting and believing that the immune system is the supreme controlling computer that runs everything, and you can be well. And so you may get sick, but I think you recover much faster when you're living a healthy lifestyle.
And you don't get it as often. I tend to get it more at the beginning of the flu season. If I get anything, it's only about every 4 or 5 years I get a little flu, and and it's a little severe for a couple of days, and then it's over with, and I'm good to go for another 4 or 5 years. I hope that I'm not going to take any of the shots. I don't think that's helpful to me. You have to discover that stuff on your own. Everybody has to make their own little decision on that.
One of the biggest New Year's resolutions that everyone makes is I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
And I am trying to encourage my clients. I want you to want to be healthy, and sometimes to be healthy means you put on a little weight as you're rebuilding your metabolism.
Yeah, you will go through stages, but I think it more along the lines of normalizing yourself.
I think that's a perfect way to explain it.
Yeah,
and you want to lose weight if weight loss is a goal, but let's lose it in a healthy fashion that doesn't create more stress.
Different things cause you to detox differently. Some detox helps you lose weight. Some of the detox interferes with that for a while. Makes blockages. So you're going to definitely go through some stages. But I always encourage my clients to look at anything that you do to change the habits is look at it a year's process. Not a year that you're deciding to make the change. A year of
implementing the programs.
Yeah, exactly. Implementing the programs, and how do you feel at the end of that year, and then you can kind of analyze it and say, boy, this has been pretty darn good. I can live with this.
Well, for the most part, new clients in my office, I've alluded to it being a 180-degree turnaround. That's sort of a play. 180 is a complete 180, right?
Wow.
Facing the other direction.
Yeah.
And it's 180 days, so that's 6 months before you're really going to see changes.
Yeah.
When you have, a lot of people that come in and they want to turn to natural health and say, can you help me with this or that? That's like treating it like medicine or disease treatment. I don't want to do symptom. I want to get to the root cause of why you're not feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of time. So that's what I'm saying. With your New Year's resolutions, be kind to yourself, give yourself a little leeway, and realize that it takes time to see changes and healthy changes that last.
And, another thing I think would be a good resolution is to start exploring for yourself, to take out some time to do, if you're interested in, getting healthy, whether it's exercise or getting your mind sharper and increasing your memory, that type of thing. Anything that you do, start doing some research on it and find it. Be a little bit passionate about it because it can help improve your life, improve your health, improve your mind, and your environment goes along for the ride. 877-927-6648 is the number here, folks, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We have one more segment coming up, and remind you that TFNN.com is our father here that controls everything and brings us to you, so check out TFNN.com.
If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige on TFNN.com, living a primal lifestyle, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Interesting article I found and amusing.
So you found a really good, motivating idea for why you should start an exercise program.
This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, researchers confirm anecdotal evidence that exercise, absent sex or fantasies, and what does that mean?
Well, that means you don't. The exercise doesn't have to be a sexual exercise.
Well, you're not thinking about
right.
You're not thinking about sex or anything like that. Right. So, absence sex or any sex fantasies can lead to female orgasm. Not the organism itself, but the orgasm. Okay, we're talking about orgasms, folks. Okay, while the findings are new reports of this phenomenon, sometimes called core-gasm. Oh, that's really interesting. Because of its association with exercise for core abdominal muscles have circulated in the media for years. The most common exercises associated with exercise-induced orgasm were abdominal exercises, climbing poles, or ropes, biking, spinning, and weightlifting. The data is interesting because they suggest that orgasm is not necessarily
a sexual event.
Okay.
and that they may also teach us more about the bodily processes involved in a woman's orgasm. So maybe it's more of a survival. The process is instinct, and
it doesn't say anything about men.
In secreting, well, it looks like this study was just.
We're just out of the picture, folks. That's all. Here we are again.
But kind of interesting that maybe it has something to do with just kind of balancing the hormones.
Yeah, well, I can see, when you're getting in exercise and you're hitting certain areas, then certainly...
But I don't think that those areas are necessarily having any... I mean, with a chair, like the chair lifts, there's not really
weightlifting, it says 26% weights, yoga 20%, bicycling 15.8, running 13.2, walking and hiking 9, almost 10%. So you go for a walk, you can have an orgasm about 1 out of every 10 times.
I'll bet you they'll find
People are running out the door exercising. I'm going 20 times around the block this time just to get twice orgasm.
I think that could have to do with the oxytocin. Pleasure.
Pleasure drugs?
Yeah, well, pleasure hormone. Not Oxycontin. Okay. Oxytocin, it's part of the it's part of the hormone system that's released at pleasure, strength. And I'm wondering if that
something physical has to... Well, if you're just walking, though, I would think... I mean, I can see while you're doing sit-ups and you're really cramping down on... the lower abs.
Well, see, this is kind of like a right off the cuff when we just found this and we wanted to share it with you. But I'll bet that has something to do with the release of a primal hormone called oxy.
It's definitely, everybody says anyway that exercise is good for you because, and sex is exercise, folks, so the more, if you have sex on a regular basis, you're going to get that exercise built in. Primal movements, we're talking about the most primal there is. Just like squatting down and going to the bathroom like we used to do, which we need to do these movements because they're inherent in us. And if we want to be a complete human being and we want to be able to move like that through our later life.
Well, what you just said that about squatting. There's a little device that you can buy. It's called the Squatty Potty.
I got one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. There's one right on my toilet.
Well, see?
I always use that.
You are completely primal.
I'm primal, I'm telling you.
Well, actually, there's a lot of good science behind that.
Yeah. I read the book in the 70s by this lady. I even forget her name, too bad. But it was a book that opened my eyes and saying if you want to go to the bathroom in a healthy way, this is the way, because it changes how everything comes out.
Well, there's a whole diagram of how the whole colon is reflexed.
The whole colon tilts.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to... That's something good to put on your list.
That's the end of the show, folks. Orgasms and going to the potty. Here we go. Living a primal lifestyle. Hey, we're glad you stuck around. We had a good time, and 2013 promises to be a really good year for us. So
have a happy new year.
Yeah, happy new year,
everyone.
Enjoy yourself. Eat some good food, and have some good champagne. Pink champagne, I love. Oh, yeah.
Send us ideas for next year. We'd love to work with you and answer your questions.
Take care. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.